So I come to you today with a bit of good news from Congress. Now, we don't get to hear a lot of good news from Congress, ironically, since Donald Trump is in the White House. The Republicans have the majority of the House of Congress and the Senate, but still, these cucks usually let us down. Like the repeal and replace the Obamacare bill. I mean, they've been, the Republicans, the House of Congress, the Senate, have been talking about repeal and replacing Obamacare pretty much since it was created by Obama. For, 6 years or something. And they actually have the opportunity now with a president who wants to repeal it and replace it with something better, and they have nothing. All these years anticipating, pandering to their constituents about repeal and replace Obamacare, and they have nothing. Which goes to show you they never really wanted to or planned to repeal and replace Obamacare, because they probably figured, well, Hillary Clinton's going to get elected president. It's never going to happen. So we can just keep saying that to our constituents, and they'll keep electing us back into office. And we can pretend that we're fighting the battle. But here comes Trump, who ran on repealing it, and nothing. But, like I said, today we have some good news coming out of the Congress. Finally, Marc Meadows, the head of the Freedom Caucus, who, along with Rand Paul and a very select few other congressmen, they're the most conservative of the congressmen. And they're like the only ones, along with Rand Paul, who on the Trump care, Obamacare fight, are trying to lead the way to get something good done. But today, this is about building the wall. So Marc Meadows, the leader of the Freedom Caucus, said that unless the House and Congress pass funding for building the wall or getting started to build the wall, there will be a government shutdown. And according to Marc Meadows, Donald Trump is on board with this, which is good, because he did run on building the wall. We voted for him. That's one of the biggest issues, is to build the damn wall already. So the funding runs out for the government in September, where they got to vote on a new spending bill to fund the government, or else the government shuts down. And Marc Meadows is saying that we have enough votes to force funding for the beginning of the building of the wall. And that if they don't put this funding into the bill, then the government will essentially shut down, and that Trump will not sign any legislation, any bills to fund the government beyond that point, if they don't have the financing for the wall included in the spending bill, which is great. And hopefully this really happens. I mean, at this point, what is it? It's July, so you got till September. Anything can happen from now until then. Amnesia. But this is great. This is a good, anybody that goes against this, basically it's going to show who is truly for the American people, for the will of the American people who voted for Donald Trump, who voted for this wall, and for national security, not allowing illegals to cross our border. Not just Paco, who wants to come and make a taco, but, drug runners, rapists, these human traffic smugglers, terrorists have been caught crossing the border as well. So it's definitely an issue of national security. And whoever opposes this shows their true colors. Now, we know the Republican Party is made up of all kinds of cucks, rhinos, Democrats in disguise, John McCain, who's old and senile. I mean, Paul Ryan is the biggest cuck. He's only out to fill his pockets. He'll do whatever the lobbyists want him to do. A bunch of them are neocons who are all for open borders and, war. So this will really show who is out for themselves or their own agenda and who is out for the American people. And even on the Democratic side, even though most likely all the Democrats will vote against this because most liberals are against the wall anyway because they're a bunch of morons, but it will show as well for if there are any sane Democrats out there who do believe in national security and a secure border. It will show that they too are not willing to do what's necessary to protect our border, to protect our national interests. So, thanks to Marc Meadows and the Freedom Caucus for suggesting this, for saying, unless there is funding for this wall to, start construction on, which they're supposed to over the summer start building some samples, the one with the solar panels and, so that would be perfect. They build some samples over the summer. Trump can pick the one that he likes best. Come September, they put the funding in the bill for the wall and boom, you can start construction on the wall. By the end of the year, construction can be started and, that's one of Trump's biggest campaign promises. And for me, it's definitely one of the biggest issues that I want to see happen. I want to see, not only do I want to see that wall go up, I want to see immigration come to a halt. I mean, they need to reverse that 1965, I believe it's called the Hart-Celler Immigration Act, which truly changed the demographics and the face of this country. That's like a whole nother issue for a whole nother video, which I do plan on making soon. But that Immigration Act changed the face of America, changed everything that America was about at that point. In 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson signed that into effect, and it literally changed America forever at that point. But I digress. Back to this wall. Marc Meadows, the Freedom Caucus, Trump. We have the numbers. The voters want it. We want it. We want national security. We want the wall built. We don't want no one coming in over that southern border anymore. Not illegally, especially, although I don't want anybody coming in at all. It's time to do this. It's time to be serious. And it's time to see which Republicans are worthy of being reelected. 2018 midterm elections are coming up as well. These Republicans better think about that if they want to hold on to their cushy, high-paying, good benefit-having jobs come 2018. Paul Ryan, I don't know who's up, and I don't know if they're all, a lot of seats are up. I'm not sure who's up for re-election at this point, but everyone that is up for re-election at this point, they better vote wisely on funding this bill for this wall, for funding or not funding the government. They better seriously think about what they're doing when they make this, when they vote for this. It's enough voting for your own interest. You've made enough money. You have enough power. Stop being so damn selfish. Paul Ryan, John McCain, all you cucks and rhinos out there, even you Democrats. Do what's right for the country. Do what's right for the people. Do what's right for America. Do what we voted for. We voted for this wall. We voted for Donald Trump to build this wall. Make it happen. Build the wall. Vote to fund it. Or else, hey, if they shut down the government, that's fine too, because a government that doesn't do anything is almost as good. We don't need them screwing up anything else. We don't need them spending our money on anything else. So they don't want to build this wall. They want to shut down the government. Fine by me. Let it all come down. How about that? And then we can build a new government, a better government, maybe an alt-right government. How about that? And then we can really take care of these problems. So Republicans, you better be wise on your decision, on your vote. You better pass funding for this wall like the American people voted for. Anyway, if you got anything else to say, do so down in the comments below. If you like this, go ahead and hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel. And that's about it. I'm out of here.